welcome to the Collegiate Rugby Championship. It's the 15s on the road to Houston in 2024. In our D1AA Semifinal, UMass takes on defending national champion Kentucky. A good view of the Pagoda, Reading, Pennsylvania, a landmark of this part of Pennsylvania for more than a century. It's Dave Ryan alongside Mike Petrie, former USA Eagle. And Mike, a great day of rugby ahead. Two semifinals on the way. And one winner each will go to the national championship match in Houston, Texas. We start off with UMass and Kentucky. Both teams, Mike, are undefeated. UMass 10-0, Kentucky 9-0 entering the match here today. And you just know with the pressure on these players, it's going to be fun to watch. We are ready for rugby here in Reading, Pennsylvania. We're at Penn State Berks campus hosting this event for a fourth year in a row. UMass got by LSU in the national quarterfinal 27-12, and then St. Joe's Kentucky beat 63-17. And here we go underway from Reading, Pennsylvania. This is the national semifinal. The winner
hey man, I've got no sound.
of the championship.
I don't know if you can hear me, but
It's a chilly day.
I can hear it. Yeah, I can hear it. I hear Dave.
Black, we're here. We're black, we're here. White, give me a step. Come on now, come on now, come on now. Away, White. Good, good. White here, white here, white here, white here. Not rolling. I know. White tackler not rolling before the poach. You're on the mark, yes? Away, Black! Hold. Away, Black! No! Take it back. Pointer's on. Hold, White, hold. Use it, Black! Hold, White. Black, hold. Hold. Full left. Advantage, Black 13. Right. We're not going anywhere. Black 13. 2 steps in front, Black 13. 6. Go on post. Or Black 13. Just get him back, okay? Thank you.
Penalty in their favor. They put it out of bounds right at the 22. Fast forward 1 minute, and now all of a sudden Kentucky with a chance to put 3 points on the board thanks to a missed line-out throw, a kick downfield, a turnover, and then this penalty here to get our first points of this playoff game.
Goes for 3 here. Early penalty kick try. Just away in our first half. The defending national champs trying to stay unbeaten. Strikes it. Flags are up. 3-zip. Kentucky a good start. As they kick for a 3-0 lead. Exactly the start that Sam Minari, the head coach, wants for Kentucky. He took over the Kentucky program 2022. A grad of Indiana. And UMass and McGoey, the captain. Pop kick, trying to regain possession. Holden Hahn has got it.
Do not push me again.
Number 7, the flanker.
Do not push me again, Black.
On about.
Hold.
To Curry. Gage Curry is knocked down.
Black all the way around first.
Violation comes on UMass.
And that's a tough penalty on Massachusetts. That's the second now. That's going to put them back in their own territory. The first got the first shot at goal for Kentucky and the first 3 points. And now Kentucky a chance to advance upfield off another penalty. So Massachusetts coming out of the gates. A lot of energy from the number 4 seed, but there's 2 penalties in a row that are just putting them on the back foot constantly and putting pressure on themselves.
All right, partner Jack Phillips kicks that to touch. Here's a chance, Kentucky in the line out to expand on the 3-0 lead here early in our match.
Okay.
2 semifinals today. A big day of rugby from Penn State Berks campus, Reading, Pennsylvania.
Not straight.
Virginia Tech and Bowling Green, the second 1AA semifinal here today. Not straight on the lineout.
Scrum option. Scrum option. Black scrum.
So UMass a couple early errors, then Kentucky has an issue with their lineout. And the scrum will go here to UMass with an opportunity to gain some territory, get back toward the halfway line. You're right, Mike. A little slow start for the Minutemen in this match.
Keep that spacing, boys. Looks good to start.
Definitely slow. They go for the scrum option here. They overthrew that last line out. They didn't bring it in on that attacking 22, as you mentioned. So they go to the scrum, hoping to get some good work out of their front row. Set a good platform, but you're right. This is going to be territory for them. We'll see if they decide to have a run, but maybe crash up and then punch this ball downfield and try to get some territory.
Holden Hahn, partner, really nice tackle, but high tackle was the call. And it's a penalty on Holden Hahn. So the free kick now to UMass, trying to gain some territory with McGoey, the captain, the number 10. We'll play that up pitch. Here are the Kentucky backs. Left wing and John Hall. Had a brief touch, whistle stops play. And with holding.
It seemed like everybody stopped play that time. It was like the fellas in white and from Kentucky just looked and watched as Mass just stepped over top of that ball, went for the steal, and no one was trying to clean him out of there. So we talked about Massachusetts before having 2 penalties against them that backed them up into their own end and put those first points on the board for Kentucky. But Massachusetts this time, on the good end of 2 penalties for them, one from in their own half of the high tackle and that one for holding on, parks them just inside the 22 for this attacking lineout. Let's see if they can pull this one down.
Fine mystery plays into number 8, the Herring, the captain. He's got the red cap, elevates, grabs that, and a whistle stops play, and obstruction is the call. So a scrum call off the lineout violation.
Boys, ball was transferred before contact. First one's accidental, just a scrum. If that ball stays in front, we're fine.
That was an interesting tactic that time, Dave, from Kentucky. You can see Massachusetts went up for the lineout, brought it down, but Kentucky did not engage them. They didn't step forward. They didn't try to contest it. They didn't try to stop it. And so Massachusetts moved the ball to the back of that maul, and effectively that's then blocking. You can't do that. What they should have done, Massachusetts, heads up in that situation, just front ball player, front ball carrier, just go forward. But instead, another missed opportunity for Massachusetts. A line out that goes awry, not expecting Kentucky to not contest it. And then they're penalized here. So backing themselves up out of that 22 again. So 2 missed opportunities, 2 visits to inside the 22 within the first 7 minutes of the game. And nothing to show for it so far for Massachusetts.
All right, couple opportunities in that red zone, but could not convert. That's well broken down, Mike. So Phillips, who has the 3 points in the match so far, is 3-0. Kentucky, the defending national champs. Number 1AA division, Division 1 in our national championships. Kentucky's been rolling. Their Clemson match was tight. But since then, it's been very one-sided, taken by UMass. Minster has some ground to gain. The Herring, the captain. Now trying to get organized with a set piece, working to the outside, UMass. This is their best run so far toward the red zone to get to the 22, but Daly's hit hard. Great tackling, Holden Hahn. Twice in the match has been outstanding with his form tackling. And Allen gets decked. He just got absolutely smoked, and the whistle stops play.
You're getting the penalty for what you're asking for.
Lots of penalties, Dave, back and forth. Just both teams just trading off these penalties. And so here we're going to see Massachusetts go to the corner. Probably could have a shot at goal here. It's within kicking distance, I'm sure. But instead, they're going to punch this one into the corner. They're going to back themselves. Now they're 5 meters out. The last time they tried to set up this maul, Kentucky did not engage them. They drew a penalty. So we'll see now if the same tactic is used, and if it is, hopefully Massachusetts heads up and they just put their head down and that front ball carrier just goes to the line.
Boys, lines our tunnel,
hold! Here's
hold the gap,
number 2, the left of your screen. This is a huge line out deep in the territory of Kentucky inside the 5. Successful line out. Works there to Manjakian, who drives forward, looking to touch that down and done it for 5. It's called short by Patrick Fido, referee. They're on the doorstep now. Manjakian and company very close. They're just outside. You can see the number 8, the Herring. They'll work that for Manakian, and he's in. And UMass does have the first 5 of the match. Dotting it down to the Minutemen here in our national semifinal.
Boys, just a reminder,
and they take the first lead of this match for UMass.
Outstanding work that time from Massachusetts. Love what they did off of this line out. We talked about the danger in setting up this maul that they didn't necessarily engage last time Kentucky. So instead, what Massachusetts does is they pivot. They just throw to that back pod, but instead of driving, they offset it. They peel around that back end. And then what I love is that they change the direction of the attack. So they started going towards the post. And all of a sudden, you saw the swing back towards the opposite side, and what you get there is mismatches. So you found the number 12, Manakuyan, was the one that scored. He got underneath one of the big second rows for Kentucky. That's how you set up mismatch for quick backs near the goal line. So really well done from Massachusetts on that series.
Here's McGowan, partner off the post, and that keeps the flags down and keeps us a 5-3 match. So a miss on the conversion for 2.
And the kick that time was from a similar spot where the original penalty was. He hits the post. So maybe in hindsight, that was the best case scenario for Massachusetts. They get 5 points on the board out of this try, and here it is. Their forwards are going to work. They're just looking for that extra bit of turf as they get towards the post. But Kentucky doing a great job by the goal line. Those forwards getting really low around those fringes, just stuffing this Massachusetts attack. They're going by themselves. They don't have much help, but then look at this. You see some double-digit numbers swinging around the corner. The backs for Massachusetts going in against single digits for the forwards in Kentucky, and they're able to get underneath of them. So well played there by the University of Massachusetts.
Well, let's see it from Watertown, Massachusetts, playing inside Boston. Manakian has put it back down the center. A biochemical engineering major. An outstanding student athlete. The kick here, and
hold.
UMass off the 5 points, lost possession. Taken back by the defending national champs. Second row Reza gained some territory near the halfway line as Kentucky tries to get organized and bounce back from giving up the first try of the match. Penalty put UMass in great shape. Line out inside the 5, they were able to dot it down.
Through the middle, it's fine.
Despite some early errors for UMass, they've got a lead in this match.
Block out!
For Cable, the hooker, trying to regain possession here for Kentucky. The defending champs with some speed through the middle by Luke Keogh. He'll gain some meters and lunge forward.
Hold.
Well, Kentucky looks organized in this offensive push.
Kentucky playing with a little bit of fire now after giving up that first try of the match. Great outside pass, noticing that blitz from the outside defense of Massachusetts.
Holden Hahn, his pass, Mike, was, might have been caught as well.
Couldn't quite bring that one in.
Here comes the
Kentucky
whistle.
coming back with some fire after giving up those first points.
All right, let's get back here.
And looking real sharp, just punching into that defensive line of Massachusetts, really testing the defensive integrity of the jerseys, black jerseys, and what an outstanding job by Kentucky. I will say, though, bit sloppy at the back of their rucks a few times. They were lucky to maintain possession. There were probably 2 or 3 in a row where the ball placement wasn't great. Some of the cleanouts weren't fantastic, but they held on to it. They scrambled, they hustled, kept the ball, kept possession, stayed going forward, but ultimately made a break to the outside. One pass too many for that offload, and a turnover to Massachusetts.
Actually, let's call a knock on. Looked like could have been a forward pass as well. And the scrum here, UMass trying to gain some territory and get out of its own red zone. DeHaren, the captain.
Okay, right now.
Got that distinctive red scrum cap. Work to the backs now. Flipped up. Manjakian puts that airborne.
Massachusetts trying to run out of their own end of it.
Half.
They went with the standard 8-pick, 12 off his shoulder. Nice little start to that scrum. But here they go. They swing it to the outside, and this is where it can be dangerous. Behind the back pass that time from number 11, John Hall. What a behind the back pass. That was pretty nifty. Good bit of handling skills on display there from Kentucky, who are now right back on the doorstep of Massachusetts, just punching into this line. Again, showing real fire after giving up that first try. And here they go, moving the ball to the outside into that second layer. They get caught in the midfield this time now. Got to re-energize, regather the troops. And here comes Kentucky changing the point of attack, going back down that short side. Quick possession here. Should be numbers on to the outside. There it is.
Working out to the outside for Holden Hahn.
Unfortunately, that time, forward pass. So they change the point of attack. They catch Massachusetts down this short side. And unfortunately, though, the pass goes forward. So again, Kentucky just really keeping the foot on the pedal just to continue to apply pressure to this Massachusetts defense. And we'll see what Massachusetts does here as they set up for this scrum. Last time they took a pick off the back of the scrum, sent the 12 off his shoulder, threw a big pass to the outside, which is a bit risky. But we'll see if they play with fire in the same way this time. Not much to work with on that short side near the sideline. So they should pick up. If they're going to pick up, get the number 8 coming this way. But there it is, a turnover off the back of that scrum. Kentucky picks it up. Massachusetts forwards couldn't keep that one in the scrum, and so they're going to spin it to the outside, and here comes some space on the outside, one-on-one, quick offload to the inside, and oh man, what an offload that would have been to the inside, and that was number 15 for Kentucky, Ryan Paul, who would have been off to payday there, looking for the try line in front of him. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. So it starts with this scrum, a bit sloppy at the back from Massachusetts. Couldn't secure it. But good ball security here from Kentucky. Get quick, go to the outside. Quick shift, skip pass, one-on-one, step inside, fend off to the inside. And there's the support line. But then number 8 for Massachusetts, their captain, Arthur Daring. He just makes himself a play and forces that ball to get coughed up right before the try line. So some good hustle that time from Massachusetts.
All right, breaking the action here, Mike, in our 5-3 match.
When you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
have to say my favorite Thorne product is creatine, white protein, vitamin D, super EPA, fish oil pills.
I chose to take Thorne supplements over another brand because they're sports backed. We know it's tested and it's safe to use. There's a wide variety of benefits that range from sports performance to neurological benefits. I know it helps me increase my lifting capacity.
That they're third-party tested, that they're NSF certified.
And they also taste great, so that's why I choose Thorne.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
To understand the game in its fullest, you need to understand what's happening to the ball.
Gilbert is synonymous with every major event that's happened in our sport.
The ball is a conductor of the orchestra. We put tiny microchip inside the ball. We're getting location information from the ball, speed, spin, distance, trajectory, hang time.
The technology and the innovation behind this ball is truly a game changer.
It is what it is, man.
Welcome back to the National Collegiate Rugby Championship Playoff. This is the semifinals. Dave Ryan, Mike Petrie, our entire crew. It is a 5-3 match. We apologize for our technical difficulties. We are back. Did not miss any scoring action. Mike took over play-by-play for a while. Did a great job. Kicked up pitch in Kentucky on the recovery here. The Kentucky points, Mike, of Phillips' penalty kick early off one of the early possessions. And then Manikian had the lone dot down and the lone try so far in the match. Oh, I take that back. It's now 10-3. We did have more scoring while we were away.
And the scoring comes from Massachusetts, Dave. So they're really coming out of the gates. The number 4 seed, the underdogs theoretically in this game, just coming out hot in this first half. We saw that they had 2 missed opportunities very early on, but then that nice sequence that saw the first try from that man on your screen there, number 12 in black, Manikian, he did a fantastic job to get underneath of one of the big locks for Kentucky. And so Kentucky just came back at them, but here they are again. They're going to try to run this one out of their own end.
Inside pass, Luke Keogh showing some really good speed on the pitch here today. Excellent tackle. Rahul Patel. Good form tackle for UMass. Here's the number 8 for Kentucky and Everett Merritt. He'll try to drive up pitch and gain some territory outside the 22. That's down on the turf. And a knock on that hurts Kentucky. Great opportunity. UMass deep in Wildcat. And the play here, Mike.
And that's what happens when you play with fire. If you're Kentucky, they decided to run that one out of their end. They had that scrum on the far side of your screen. They decided to have a go, spin the ball to the outside, went through a number of phases. And when you do that inside your 22, you're at risk there of giving up a penalty. You're asking a lot of work of your forwards to run back and forth across the field. And there it is. The penalty goes to Massachusetts, who, again, well within kicking range for them to put 3 points on the board, but they want none of that. They go straight to the corner, and rest assured they're going for a maul here again. They're going to try to assert some dominance and really, really extend this lead. If they could punch one in here, Dave, this would be huge for Massachusetts in the opening 20 of this game.
All right, Fimus here,
hold here then.
Just outside the 5 here.
There.
Deep line out in Kentucky territory. What an opportunity to expand the lead. We've seen one really good rolling maul off of this exact set piece. They'll try again and drive that toward the try line. Now the battle. Now it's physical with the engine room. The guys up front
White back.
That pass is worked to Herring, the
Lay out.
captain.
Oh, he's laying on
Gaining
him.
some
You're slowing
meters,
down your
gaining
own
some
ball. Let him
centimeters,
go.
trying to get closer.
Slowing down your own ball. Hold White.
You hear the referee's directions.
Quiet.
O'Sheen Allen, the number 9, the scrum half, looks to initiate. He's got it here. Spins to the outside, McGoey. Deep outside pass. Well done there for Lai. He got really close, but not in. Manikian's got one already. It's turned over. Kentucky in the try zone. Takes it back. That's a huge turn of events with their backs against the wall, about to surrender a third try of our first half.
And what a tackle from the number 2 for Kentucky, Parker Cable. I mean, he just saved them 5 points against them. That was an outstanding leg tackle. Rodeoed himself straight back to his feet. Got the turnover. That was class from the hooker. Sometimes that hooker stays in that defensive channel in that 5-meter area, and you just kind of feel like you're in no man's land standing out there. You're on an isolated. And Massachusetts did exactly what they did last time. They worked across towards the middle, off the set piece, changed the point of attack, threw a big pass over the top to the outside to a wing. And if you're a hooker and you're number 2 in white, that's a scary place to be, one-on-one with a wing with quick feet. And he just got him straight to the ground, pulled him in. What a tackle by Parker Cable in that 5-meter channel one-on-one.
Literally eliminates an opportunity for UMass there on the doorstep for a third try of our first half. Huge turn of events. Right back to UMass by Mr. Here's McGoey, the captain. Back to the Wildcats. Looking to get on their own end. Early 3 points from Phillips on a penalty kick. Kentucky had a 3-0 lead. Back-to-back tries with no conversion, though, for UMass for a 10-3 lead here. Past the hydro break of our first half in the national semifinal. UMass on the retreat. Manikian, Patel, Kennedy, and Daly are the backs.
Let it go.
And as we told you about, Owen and McGoey, one of the captains for UMass, operate as a number 9 and 10. There's a knock-on call.
White scrum. Thank you, Justin.
And scrum here to Kentucky with a great opportunity.
And that's devastating stuff for Massachusetts. I mean, they literally were inches away from scoring just now on the other side of the field, had it not been by that tackle from Kentucky's number 2, Cable. But turn of events, Kentucky finally kicks upfield. They had been playing with fire, we said, just running out of their own end a bit too much. And this is what happens. Good things can happen when you try to play that territory game. They kick upfield. They forced the error from Massachusetts. It was a little bit unforced. It was a big pass off to the middle of the field. And then number 15, Kevin Daly, unfortunately just lost a handle on it. Wanted to hit the accelerator before he actually had possession. And so what it sets up is a midfield scrum now for Kentucky, and let's see what they can do.
Use it.
Right at the 22 here, Mike. In the red zone for Kentucky. Merritt comes out of the pile, trying to drive ahead. Being dragged back by his kit. Scrum half, Gazalek Cole initiates here. From the ruck, they'll work to the outside. Dardis had a little bit of room. And he gets decked and the whistle blows and stops play. Trying to work those outside channels. Kentucky with some speed. Penalty called, though, against UMass, so a quick restart and opportunity. Driving up pitches Curry. He's now inside the 5, getting really close to Kentucky's first try of the match.
Hold Black. Use it, White.
Now they'll set. The big man, Cable.
Black away. Tackle.
Drives ahead. Manier. A little bit of room as well.
Short. Leave it, Black.
Just short for Kentucky there on the doorstep. Just inches away. Trying to get forward. Arm is up. Able to dot it down. And Kentucky scores with Reza. Millardo Reza is in. He's got 5. The second row of the number 5. Able to dot it down for Kentucky's first try of the match to make it 10-8.
And Kentucky needed that one. Like we said, they were just about ready to give up that third try of the game on the other side of the field just moments ago. And then look at their forwards just go to work. Reinvigorated with some energy. They get nice and low around that fringe. Good body height. Good latch, good drive, and here, ball presentation's outstanding. There it is, nice and calm. He goes off by himself, just alone, but is able to get low enough underneath of that Massachusetts defense, and a try there that time for Kentucky, the first of the game for them, and really puts them right back in this game.
After the back-to-back tries scored by UMass, that's a huge tally for the defending national champs, and flags are up on the kick.
Come with me.
So Phillips been great with one penalty kick and then the conversion as well.
Guys out, same as the last one we had. So just the post is fine. The other guys creeping out wide.
That ties up the match at 10 apiece. Coming to you from Penn State Berks, we are in Reading, Pennsylvania. Hosting this event for a 4th straight year. National semifinal winners off to Houston, SaberCat Stadium. We've done a lot of games, Mike, involving the Houston squad in Major League Rugby. So what a cool sight again at back-to-back years that Houston has hosted the national championship. That's next week. A lot to be determined on the pitch here today. All square at 10.
Leave it.
A little more than 10 to go in our first half here from Reading.
Holding on.
And holding on is the call. And the referee, Patrick Fight, today.
First man there on his feet. White tackler holding on.
A 10-10 game like that in Kentucky's situation,
ball,
you just put some points on the board. You saw how territory worked out for you last time around. You kicked up field. Massachusetts just coughed it up to you. That time, do more of the same. Just ball security, drop your 10 in the pocket, punch it downfield, force Massachusetts to play out of their own end. Especially you can see that touch flag up in the air from our sideline official. The wind's a little bit left to right across your screen. So what you find there is Massachusetts going to have a hard time kicking out of their own end. So from Kentucky's perspective, just off those kickoffs, ball security, bring it down and launch it downfield, force Massachusetts to fight out. But an overthrow this time plays in their favor.
Way too high there. Yeah, Holden Mahan was right there, part to pick that off. And the scrum goes to UMass, though, on the violation. Had the set piece on the line out, but a misfire on that pass.
Hookers, here we go. Thank you.
From Mister. UMass catches a break. They get the scrum here.
Massachusetts has some space to play with on that right-hand side.
Crouch!
Close to that touchline of your screen, so we'll see if they decide to use it. Don't see any white jerseys in the picture right now defensively, but if anything, you got maybe a wing sitting back there. You see Kentucky's 9 playing in behind the scrum, and so they go to the left side.
Allen pass inside.
No!
McKeon, the number 12.
Hold.
He's got one of the 2 UMass tries so far in the match in our 10-10 national semifinal. Chilly day from Reading, Pennsylvania, about 35 degrees at kickoff. Here's Patel. He'll drive forward. Good tackle, though. Excellent job. The right wing, Joe Keogh, one of 2 Keoghs in the Kentucky lineup. Stop Patel in his tracks.
Captain. And 12.
Patrick Fight needs a captain.
I'm hearing too many voices that aren't yours, particularly his. Okay. Can we clean up? Yes, sir. Thank you.
Brad Phillips, John Dardis. Get things straightened out on the pitch here. Too much chatter, says our referee. McGoey puts the right foot to it into the corner, looking for a line out inside the 22.
10, I was trying not to penalize your man for not rolling, and then the chatter. Okay,
opportunity again here, Mike, with plenty of time remaining in our first half.
In familiar territory for Massachusetts, they've just been in this screen zone with scoring opportunities off of these set pieces time and time again throughout this first half. 2 tries to show for it.
Chase, thank you.
This time here, lots of space to go as far as like 20 meters or so, but let's see what they do. They go to the front and they just drive into it.
Use it, Black!
Different strategy. The line out has been up and down for UMass so far in the match. Hold poise, trying to gain some meters. Now they'll work with Allen. Look for the inside pass. Kentucky trying for the pick. UMass still has possession. The Herring almost lost it. Looked like it was a knock on there, and that is the call.
All good. Black 8, lost forward. White scrum.
Scrum here to Kentucky. It's a nice job defensively by the Wildcats. They got a chance to get out of their own zone here.
And a bit too tight that time from UMass. Like we mentioned, they had a bit of space to play with, especially in open field. Their backs have done a fantastic job throughout the game, especially changing that point of attack. But they decide to go through their forwards. They keep it really tight. They throw to that front pod in the line out and then just forward runner is just running almost straight back into the ruck that time. And that ends up with a turnover to Kentucky.
We'll get there if we get there. I think he's going
A little bit of a risky inside pass. And the number 8 in DeHering just could not handle it cleanly. Not a lot of room between he and his teammate. So big turnover. And Kentucky a chance to relieve some pressure here.
Let's go, boys. White scrum.
Scrum here to the Wildcats with an opportunity here with a little more than 6 to go in our first half. Maybe break this stalemate. Kentucky with 3-0 lead. Back-to-back tries were scored without conversions for UMass to make it 10-3, and then Kentucky answered. Reza punched it in. 2-point kick from Jack Phillips to square the match at 10. Something's got to give. Two undefeated teams here. National semifinal. Good tackling. Cole Kennedy gets aggressive. Trying to win that ball back. Maybe cause a turnover. Pass inside is risky. Works out well for Kentucky as the Wildcats drive deep upfield. Hanzalan had some room. On a bounce. A spill, but no knock on. Kentucky with Joe Keogh maintains possession.
Nothing there. We're coming back for the offside.
Offside's a call.
Black, we're offside.
Kentucky that time throwing some long passes very close to their own try line. They get lucky with a break through the middle. That was a great run that time by their number 4, Punzalan. He just went straight through the heart of that UMass defense. And because of that big line break, it just put that Mass defense under pressure, and they give up that offsides penalty. But Kentucky misses touch.
Did not get it to touch. The kick there from Jack Phillips played and kept in play inside the touch line by UMass. That's a big turn of events again. Ocean Allen, the pop kick on a bounce. DeHering, the captain. Number 8 rumbles forward. Breaking tackles, trying to gain some territory. Now UMass in some trouble with a great tackle. Excellent play by Holden Hahn in pursuit. Inside pass, Kincannon trying to get it to the halfway line here for UMass. So let's get things set up with a little more than 4 to go in our first half. That's spilled. No knock-on call at the moment. Toward the 10.
Hold. Black, use it.
Now gets it started. Herring handles the ball a lot. He is very active as the number 8 here for UMass. He mentions his name quite a bit. McGoey from the back end. Deep volley up pitch. Here's the chase. Kentucky on the move. John Hall.
Laying on him. Leave it. Leave it. Black, keep our feet there. Keep our feet. You're right on it now. Thank you.
Right back to Kentucky. Play off the feet. Here's Phillips. I don't think he'll miss this time to touch. And give some space to get across the halfway line for the line out here for the Wildcats. Looking to set something up in the final moments of our first half.
The big thing here, Dave, is that there's only 3 minutes left, as you mentioned in the first half, with the wind at the backs of Kentucky. You see that touch flag is up. Not a big breeze, but enough that it could make a difference in the second half. So if you're Kentucky, overthrow that time. Bit of a miscue, a miscommunication maybe in the line out, so they don't get to launch the starter move the way that they'd want to. But they've got to get some energy into this series because they want to try to walk away with some points going into the locker room and possibly a lead.
The halfway line flag, the red one, Mike, is blowing quite a bit. In Reading, Pennsylvania, it's cold today. The Sunday rugby, you're going to get that in the Northeast. On a bounce. Kentucky's Monier, the number 3, lets that go through. Reza is the try scorer for the Wildcats so far in this match. They will punish some tacklers and gain a few meters. Now to the backs. It's on the turf. Luke Keogh had the handle, then got walloped. And lost the rock near the halfway line. Play rolls on here. Monier 250 pounds of power on a bounce. Punzalan had it. The whistle stops play and knock on his call.
So Massachusetts now benefits from some mishandling from Kentucky. 2 in a row that time. A good tackle from Massachusetts to jar the ball loose just moments before that. A referee, Patrick Fight, says play on, but the ball looked like it might have tumbled forward. A bit questionable, but a referee says let's go, keep going. And now in the next phase straight away, Kentucky coughs it up. So justice served maybe to a certain extent for Massachusetts, but nonetheless, a turnover here. Lots of space on both sides. We'll see if they use this near touchline facing closest to your screen. There's lots of space here. We'll see if they run something nifty with the final minutes of the match, the first half here. We'll see what they do, but instead, free kick. Let's go, let's go. Come on, Matt. Quick tap, let's go.
Understood, I hear you.
Gotta happen quickly.
I heard you.
Inside a minute is on the board here. Half number 1 in our 10-10 match. All square in
The
the
free
national
kick, let's have it.
semifinal.
I'll talk to him next scrum, okay? I see it, I see it. No, we're good, I see it.
UMass back in action.
White out!
Manjakian triggers
Ball's
play.
available.
And Cannon had it briefly. Here's Allen. It's picked! Kentucky the interception. Darnus, the pick 5. In he goes. We'll dot it down for the Wildcats. What a play for Kentucky. Johnny Darnus, Naperville, Illinois, outside Chicago. Read it, picked it, brought it to the house.
You want to head over to the benches?
And Kentucky, a
That's
huge play at the end of the first half.
Yes, you're welcome.
What a pick and what a read that time from Dartis. Just slow transfer from left to right, all off the left hand for UMass. And you can see that time, they're just swinging it, hoping for the best. I don't even know if he was looking that time where he was throwing. And then Dartis just read that one like a book, straight to the center. Should be an easy shot for 2 for the conversion. And that is the finish that Kentucky needed as the number 1 seed to go into halftime with the lead and finishing that first half with the wins at their back with a nice 7-point cushion.
Yes, it will.
1 point attempt rematch. Then the Reza
kickoff,
tally.
I'll tell
Then
you.
Dartis made the amazing play at the halfway line. Makes the interception and sprints in untouched for 5.
You're there now.
Jack Phillips had a really good game so far. Fly half here. Number 10 has a good look at it. Flags are up and 2 on the board, as Mike correctly predicted, getting us to halftime. What a match here. 17-10 Kentucky, the defending national champs in the Division I AA national semifinals with UMass. A 7-point lead. Fun rugby to watch here, Mike.
That was a fun first half tonight. Lots to look forward to in this second half. Massachusetts came out hot. They had the lead. They're the underdog number 4 seed. They've got to get their act together in this second half and close this gap. They'll have the wind at their back. Should be a big second half for the Minutemen.
It's halftime for Reading, Pennsylvania. 17-10 match. Kentucky in the lead.
Thank you. I'm not cold. I'm not cold.
When we pick up the ball, we also pick up a legacy. A legacy that stretches beyond your current team. A legacy built on the backs of those who came before you with hard work. For those who will come after you, we promise it won't be easy. But we'll be there, supporting you on and off the field.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown on the Rugby Network. Join myself, Alex Corbacero, and Will Hooley as we bring you your weekly rugby fix.
With the big news, special guests, and unparalleled access, this is your rugby show.
From college rugby, Premiership Women's Rugby, MLR, and more, we've got you covered.
Watch exclusively on the Rugby Network.
Come along for the ride as we bring you the Rugby Rundown. Welcome to the Rugby Rundown on the Rugby Network, as we bring you your weekly rugby fix.
With the big news, special guests, and unparalleled access, this is your rugby show. Watch exclusively on the Rugby Network.
Rugby is all about feeling. The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle.
I'm gonna unmute this again. Am I still waiting on you?
Welcome back, everyone. Reading, Pennsylvania. Dave and Mike, our entire crew, getting set for half number 2, National Collegiate Rugby Championship playoffs. The D1AA semifinals. UMass 10-0, Kentucky 9-0, the defending national champs head-to-head. UMass in the dark kits, Kentucky in the home whites here. All right, Mike, half number 2 getting set. One score match, 17-10. What are your thoughts on half number 1 and looking ahead to the second half here?
We talked about Massachusetts having lots of opportunities in that green zone, especially off set piece. Got to capitalize on those moments. They didn't go for points in any of them. They kept going for the corner. They had 2 tries on the board. They've got the wind at their backs now. They've got to play this territory game. They've got to kick upfield and force this Kentucky team to go the distance if they want to get some points. Really important for Massachusetts to win that territory battle and use the wind at their back. And for Kentucky, they're going into the wind this time. They show that they've got some energy, but they've got to be careful. They rolled the dice a few times trying to run out of their own ends. So Kentucky's got to address that part of their game, get themselves upfield, and just hang on at this point. They've got a 7-point lead. Massachusetts is going to come out hot, and they've got to be ready for it.
UMass coached by Phil Cicerelli. Underway here, Liberty Conference champs. Head-to-head with Kentucky in the national semifinals. Now, the way this match has gone, Nip and Tuck expect a very tight finish here. That pop kick from the back end for Kentucky, airborne, but doesn't go very far.
Knock on.
UMass chance knock on his call.
Away, White. Hold.
Advantage here, UMass. We saw from Patrick Fight, our referee. We put a Minutemen again, just with one try so far for that. 2 tries and no successful
Scrum advantage was over.
penalty or conversion kicks to this point of the match.
A tough start for Kentucky, but they earned themselves that turnover near the far touchline. Massachusetts that time, the ball carrier just gets caught up upside down, like on his back. When you're in that position and you're on the ground like that, you really got to fight and get that extra roll to just throw your elbows, whatever you got to do, get those defenders off of you. It looked a bit too easy that time for Kentucky to get in there and force that turnover and get themselves a penalty, especially if you're Massachusetts. That's like gold. You just got yourself a free gift. Kentucky put that kick straight up in the air. You receive it inside the 22 just seconds into the kickoff. I mean, that's where you really got to capitalize. But here, albeit, here we go. Kentucky with the throw-in, and they get themselves back rallied.
Punzalan makes a nice reception of the line out. Here comes Kentucky trying to work that pitch. Wildcats from the SCRC, champs, Southeastern Collegiate Rugby Conference. They beat Clemson in the conference championship this year in Hendersonville, Tennessee. But just an 8-7 win in that match. They were able to squeak by the Volunteers to keep on trucking their defense of their national championship from last year. Monier, a couple of meters here for Kentucky trying to get set up here. Punzalan gains a few valuable meters toward the 10.
We're good, thank you.
Dave, Kentucky just running a bit of a zigzag pattern here. Pods of forwards just dropping straight back in their lanes, just punching up into this Massachusetts defense. You can see they'll go to the forward pod to the right now, just back and forth and back and forth. But I love the pressure that Massachusetts was putting on this defensive ruck. And again, Kentucky just going with the same thing. If you're Massachusetts, you cannot allow this to happen.
Glenn Donlin out of the sub pack. First post number 15's kit we've seen. On the pitch here is Paul from the back end.
Leave him!
The fullback has not had a lot of touches so
That's
far.
fine, we're off black though, it's a white throw.
Drawn on a handle briefly.
Rip is good.
Line out here
Rip
for
and
Kentucky.
sideways, we're just going to play the line out.
Kentucky just going back and forth like pistons of an engine. Just pick that pot up, punch upfield, get them up on their feet, just drop straight back and go forward again. It is very systematic, very predictable. If you're Massachusetts, you got to recognize that. We talked about the wind being in their face for Kentucky. They didn't drop into the pocket to kick. We saw that first kick that they tried went straight up in the air. So they're just trying to advance upfield very systematically. If you're Massachusetts, you got to get up, get back on sides, launch off the line hard, and shut that down right away.
Butler Cable, the hooker, the number 2, the effective lineup does hit the turf for a moment there. As Kentucky tries to avoid the knock-on, spill, but play goes on.
Tackle's good.
Want to bounce the back end for Paul.
Still in!
Finds it for Kentucky to keep the play alive. What a battle for Phillips. And number 10 is getting really physical. On top of the ruck. Here's Merritt.
No hands!
Gains a couple meters toward the 10. Kentucky organized with Punzalan.
Tackle. Yeah. Advantage.
Alec Cole. Advantage was the call. You heard that from our referee, Patrick
12
Fight.
right here. Captain.
Wants
10.
to talk to the captains.
It's our 4th offside here. Totally killed the line break. That's a yellow.
And our first time we've seen yellow, Mike.
Hold here.
And you heard our referee that time, Patrick Fight, just said it was just one too many penalties.
Coach.
He did give a warning earlier on.
I
I
see.
figured if
Thank
he did,
you.
I must have missed that.
Time is off.
But no warning from it. Just too many penalties in a row. And that one this time, you can see the replay on your screen, comes from an offside position. Plenty of white jerseys on the outside. Way offside. There's only 2 black jerseys out there. Blitzes in, forces the turnover. But, again, he comes from an offside position. If Kentucky is able to bring that one in, they have plenty of numbers. That's the reason for the yellow card. He came from an offside position, and as you heard the referee quote, Patrick Fight said, killed that line break opportunity for Kentucky. So Kentucky here choosing not to kick upfield and instead going with a scrum option, bringing in their blindside wing into the open field. So you know they're coming this direction. Unless they pick up with the 8-man down that short sideline, there's no defensive players there from Massachusetts right now. So if you're Kentucky's number 8, if you're Merritt, you might be looking up there and just like,
let's go!
Flashlights going, saying, I got to pick this up. I want to take all this space on that sideline. Let's see what Kentucky
Phillips great with the right foot. Did have the first penalty kick for the ice-breaking points. Back-to-back tries for UMass. And then it's been Kentucky's match really since then. Merritt, just like Mike Petrie correctly predicted, the scrum won very well. Punzalan gains ground and charges ahead as he punishes tacklers to the 22. With Jack Phillips, it'll flip to the outside channel. Might have been grabbed there inadvertently by Holden Hahn, the number 7. And the flanker getting some help. Drives up pitch. Kentucky looks effective here. Getting a lot of territory inside the 22.
What use? Away black, no hands.
Cole gets it going.
Back. Use it.
He's the back of the group now. Diamond off the bench. Sub-pack. Gains survival meters through the wickets there of Montier. Comes right to Punzalan. And a whistle stops play as Kentucky very close to knocking on the doorstep. Stalls out a bit.
Are they 10? Are we good?
Quick toe tap. Start. Curry. Looking for 5 more. Gage Curry was really close. Flip to the outside. It's Donlin, the big guy's in. Wayne Donlin. Sub-pack. Kentucky dots it down for 5. And the Wildcats, the defending national champs, expand the lead to make it 22-10.
And what a shift from Kentucky in the opening series. From this second half, they started off with that wonky kick that went straight up in the air. But then after a few penalties, they go to those Pistons. They just punch upfield, find themselves some real estate, get another turnover. A good heads-up play by their number 8, Merritt, to take advantage of that open blind side with no defenders. That gets them on the front foot. They get a penalty because Massachusetts is just under pressure. And then the big man, like you said, Donlin, just punches it in the corner to cap it all off. That was just a series of applied pressure from Kentucky with phase after phase of just front foot rugby. Really well done. And Donlin's on the receiving end of 5 points for that one from a solid team effort.
Yeah, big man from Louisville able to punch that in. Big 5 on the board for Kentucky. That gives them breathing room they haven't had the entire match. Going from behind most of the first half, and that huge play from Dardis on the pick 5 in the final moments of half number 1. And Jack Phillips, the number 10, has been outstanding with a boot so far in this match. Try stayed perfect on today with a sharp angle 2-point conversion attempt. Well, I spoke a little too soon. He cooks that one well wide left and no good. So the flags stay down. It's his first miss. That keeps this a 22-10 match. And a lot of time for UMass to try to regroup.
There's no HIA, but who am I talking to in the scrum?
Again, keep in mind, Massachusetts playing with 1 player off the field right now thanks to that yellow card from that offsides penalty. So that's going to open up some space for Kentucky. You could see them just taking advantage of that, exploiting it, throwing those wide passes to the outside, trying to play in the open field, trying to play fast, asking questions of the Minutemen to see if they can keep up. And here comes this kickoff now from Massachusetts. Last time they went real deep and tried to force Kentucky to kick out. And they do the same again. They go deep with their kickoff.
Holden Hahn able to grab that and charge up pitch there, Mike. Go ahead of steam before he's slowed down. Now Cole and company will try to reorganize. Work back for Phillips, and he'll strike with the right foot. On a bounce. Tricky to grab that one. Bill had a handoff for a moment, as did Rahul Patel.
White scrum. 13 on the
And
ground.
the advantage Kentucky in the scrum to Kentucky here.
White scrum.
And as you mentioned, that ball, when it's rolling around on the ground, it is very tricky to pick up on this turf. And that kick, maybe not exactly what Phillips wanted, went more center field than anything else. But Massachusetts playing a little bit deep. Remember, that wind is in Kentucky's face, but their backfield was just playing very deep, almost between that 50 and the far 10-meter line. And so the ball falls into that void between the defensive line of Massachusetts and their backfield, and it just hits the ground, and that's where you can get danger territory. The ball is just bouncing around, and it ends up there with Kentucky being on the receiving end again off of a deep kickoff and then a penalty in their favor. And here they go. Here goes Merritt into the middle of the field.
Merritt gets it started, Mike. Well said. Dardis had that big pick 5, very end of the first half. Gained some meters for Phillips. And outstanding in the fly half roll here today in this match.
Ball's here. Hold black. Good pickup. Good pickup.
Punzalan gathers, drives through tacklers. And we'll gain a few more meters for Cole. We'll flip to the outside channel. Opportunity, Kentucky in the clear. And the Wildcats going to put this in. Joe Keogh dives, scores for 5 for Kentucky. A little shaken up, man, landed on the ball. But the end result, smiles all around for the Wildcats, 5 more on the board.
Yeah, you can see him holding his ribs there, maybe hoping he had shifted it a little bit more to his outside, not fell straight on top of it. But it's all good because he gets 5 points for his team, and what a finish here. But I'll tell you what, I really like the athleticism all game long from Kentucky's number 4, and this is really what sets this up. His leg drive, his steps to find space, that puts Massachusetts under pressure, gives them that numerical advantage on the outside. Remember, Massachusetts still playing with 1 player off the field, serving his yellow card, so that gives them that extra player out there. Great handling on the outside in a very short space from Kentucky, and just good footwork and finish there from Keogh to find himself straight in the middle of the try zone. So really well done from Keogh that time.
Well, Junior Keogh will punch it in. And Phillips is up. This time, no worries. Straight on the 2-point conversion try. Flags are up. 2 more points on the board here for Kentucky. The national champs from last year, Mike, are rolling. How they separated themselves, and you mentioned the yellow card, right? Back-to-back tries. When it's 15-on-14 is pretty important.
This has just been an offensive onslaught so far in this second half from Kentucky. Call it conditioning, whatever you want. Maybe Kentucky just spent a bit more time in fitness because at the end of the day, you're into the second half now. Like you mentioned, it's cold. It's pretty miserable out there. It's windy. And Massachusetts right now just looks like they've fallen asleep at the wheel a bit. They came out hot off that kickoff. They had, in the second half, they had the opportunity to go up the touchline, and from there on out, it has just been all Kentucky the entire opening 11 minutes of this half.
35 degrees and breezy in Reading, Pennsylvania today. Penn State Berks hosting this event for a 4th straight year. Some fantastic rugby on the pitch. And Kentucky, the defending champs, looking very good to punch their ticket to Houston to return to the national championship game. Up 19. A lot of rugby left here. UMass has got to flip the script in a hurry. The pitch has been entirely shifted toward Kentucky. Still with a man up at 15-on-14 off the yellow card. Finally some room. UMass on a drive with Kennedy. Trying to get closer to the outside channel. Looked to hit Feimeister the 2. Well, the hooker had a little room, but couldn't gather it near the touchline, and it's out to touch.
And that's what you need that time. That was good heads-up play from the number 10, John McGoey, the captain for University of Massachusetts. Just found some space down that short side, drew his defender, gave a quick little shoulder pass to one of his forwards, and then good athletic work upfield to just get into space. Offload doesn't find the handle. But if you're Massachusetts, that's what you need to do right now. You just need to get yourself on the front foot, find those seams in the Kentucky defense. They're going to give you the ball. The past couple times they've kicked it upfield. Just find that control, get upfield, maintain possession, take Kentucky through the phases, test their defense. They haven't had a chance to test them yet in the second half.
AJ Rainey to the match. A couple of subs seeing time on the pitch along with Nick Quinzani. In the 16 kit here for UMass. Keel had the most recent try. And Kentucky tries to gain some valuable turf here. Matt Verdes is in for Kentucky, so sub-pack players getting some action. And it's awfully tough for UMass down a man to mount much offensively in terms of organized set piece. Not releasing the call from our referee, Patrick Fight. Tough to attack, tough to defend, Mike, when you're down 14 on 15.
And at this point now, if you're University of Massachusetts, again, you've got one player off the field. You're playing short-handed. You're just trying to make something happen, but you cannot give up penalties in that end of the field. You played some pretty good defense. You brought them in. They made some meters upfield, Kentucky, but in reality, they weren't really going anywhere. At some point, they were going to drop back in the pocket and probably give you the ball straight back. You can't give up penalties in that end of the field. It's really important to keep your discipline.
Rugby is all about feeling.
Yeah.
The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
I have to say my favorite Thorn product is creatine, white protein, vitamin D, super EPA, fish oil pills.
I chose to take Thorn supplements over another brand because they're sports backed.
We know it's tested and it's safe to use.
There's a wide variety of benefits that range from sports performance to neurological benefits. I know it helps me increase my lifting capacity.
That they're third-party tested, that they're NSF certified.
And they also taste great, so that's why I choose Thorn.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
To understand the game in its fullest, you need to understand what's happening.
Welcome back, Dave and Mike here, Reading, Pennsylvania. In the national semifinals, we apologize for our technical difficulties. Working as hard as we can to get these repaired, to keep the great rugby going. Great Kentucky run-up pitch here. Battling is Holden Hahn.
Black away!
Offload last second.
Black.
Does hit Durham. Gains a couple meters. Inside. Punzalan has had such a great match. Scores. Kentucky pouring it on in the second half. Mike Punzalan, who's been omnipresent at the number 4 position
He's right next to it.
for the
He's right next to
Wildcats
the 20
all
there.
match long, has 5 more.
And I mentioned him earlier, the athleticism from Punzalan. I love his work rate. I love his athleticism to find space, find these seams. But right now, Kentucky just running rampant. in this second half, finding all sorts of space, getting the ball moving, keeping it alive. Watch a step here from Punzland. 2 defenders miss, quick step, finds the try line. Really nice work, and that's something he's done all game long, is just keep his team on the front foot by finding those seams, whether he's spinning, whether he's stepping. Punzland has done a fantastic job of just keeping them going. And you can see there as our feed cut right back in, Kentucky bringing more of that same fire in the second half. I'm eating my words a bit, Dave. I mentioned they'd be going into the wind in the second half, and they would play a different sort of game, but they have really come out firing. Again, they just look to be the fitter team right now in the second half, keeping the foot on the pedal.
Rugby here for the defending national champs. And Jack Phillips on the pitch here, trying for 2 more. Deep, sharp angle kick for the Kentucky number 10. And missed that one. Flag stayed out, so a couple of misses, but those are minor points for Kentucky with a huge lead here, 34-10 in the second half.
Guys, thank you.
There's a lot of rugby left,
that time the kicker was right there.
the way the pitch has been entirely tilted for the Wildcats. Looks like a very tough uphill climb for UMass.
Again, UMass had that early lead in this game. They were looking sharp very early on, but as in all cases, when you're the number 4 going up against the number 1, you've got to sustain that sort of pressure and that sort of intensity for a full 80 minutes. And Kentucky that time weathering the storm, keeping that mental fortitude to keep themselves in the game, never in doubt, fought their way back in.
We'll
and
play
now
it
here we
temporarily
go,
as blood
up
because he clearly
34-10.
had blood. We'll figure out the rest.
UMass beat LSU, quarterfinals, 27-12 for Cicerelli. In the home match, a big win for the Midland and Amherst. So proud of his unit. They're playing one of its best matches this season.
Retreat,
They said the best crowd they've had outside Amherst in a long time. This was not gone their way on the
Get out
national
of his face,
semifinals.
get out of his face. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Just not putting it together. McGoey trouble near the halfway line with a handle.
Again, Massachusetts just playing very deep off these kickoffs. Their backfield standing around that opposite 10-meter line.
We had it.
Probably a little bit too far because those kicks keep coming in
The
very
head's
short.
right, the arms were wrong.
Wind in their face. You can see them rushing forward. Probably could have taken that one straight out of the air and would have been in full sprint, which might have been actually working out nicely for Massachusetts, but couldn't
inside
gather
your
it.
50 if that matters to you.
And just another outcome in favor of Kentucky and a good set piece launch attack opportunity here for them from scrum.
Sorry, boys. Yep.
Thank you. I'm not out of
Everyone up. My fault on that one. Let's reset. I'm sorry.
We're so strong and massive, you know. Deep breath.
Thank you. Heard it.
Well,
Black, hold your weight for me, please. Hold your weight, Black.
Some good spirit here in this match, despite the fact they're down by 24 points. I like the back and forth banter with Jared Montague, who, by the way, is about 305 pounds. He was a big dude, the tight end prop number 3 for Kentucky.
Set! Steady!
Release from here. They spin by Cole.
Behind the ball, 9. Thank you. Behind the ball.
Has been effective. And a great job engineering the offense in this match to this point. Speed comes to the inside. Keogh, room. Keogh, the sprint. Keogh evades tacklers. He's in. This is Luke Keogh. Joining Joe Keogh. Try scores for Kentucky. And they've opened this up, blowing the doors off UMass. 5 more on the board for the Wildcats, looking like defending national champs.
Nice move, White. Nice move.
And you heard through our referee Mike that time, just like we practiced. I mean, that was textbook stuff. It was a big loop to the outside. And then Keogh just uses his speed and athleticism to finish that one off. We talked about that set piece opportunity, that scrum platform that Kentucky had. You mentioned their front row for Kentucky, just big, powerful, strong. They set a good platform. Ball comes out. Great passing. They played a little bit deep into their midfield. And then all of a sudden, their number 13, Luke Keogh, takes a really nice shoulder ball off of their outside channel. And he was off to the races. Really nice stuff from Kentucky that time through their back line.
Well said, Mike. Jack Phillips, number 10, back on the pitch. We mentioned his name a lot because Kentucky's been scoring a lot. This kick is well wide. You can see good look from our crew here in Reading, Pennsylvania. So flags stay down. No 2, but they get the 5, Mike. That's what matters most and expand the lead.
And here's another look at it. We talked about the handling, and look at that. It's just a missed 2 and then just a shift off the outside. So it's a skip and loop and then just some missed tackles on the outside. Good step in from number 13, Luke Keogh. But it was just a missed 2 loop from Kentucky. They skipped that one center. He was standing at the inside position that time. Just ran a nice tight shoulder ball around his opposite center partner. And then off to the races he goes. Outside footstep. This has made, I think, 4 black defenders miss that time. So a nice play that time through the Kentucky back line.
What a play for Holden Hahn, Mike, as he grabs the kickoff and just trucks tacklers. Looked like A.J. Randy was on the backside of that one. He just got pummeled.
Oh, wait, now good.
And Kentucky dominating just about every phase of this match. Watch out! Monty, we said, 300-plus pounds. Trying to tackle him. He is a handful.
Point retreat, good.
A powerful bull-up pitch.
That's on, that's on.
Goey, the captain, trying to make
Black
something
throw,
happen.
black throw.
29
Black
points.
throw.
And a huge second half. Only a 1-score match. 17-10 at halftime. It has been all Wildcats after the break here in Reading today.
What a play that time from McGooey off this kick. You can see in the replay on your screen. He's standing a little bit closer to midfield. It's a way better positioning. And then just punches this one into the corner. Gets a 50-22. What a play that time from McGooey. And that's what it's about. The wind is weird.
We know. I heard. We're good.
There, but they've been kicking
Hold
very
it.
Hurt
again.
Center of the field.
Time on.
McGooey positioned himself in the right space that time. Caught it cleanly. Got his hips towards the sideline. Found space.
Hold your line, White. Hold your line, White.
Best opportunity they've had now, just about 5 meters out from the try line. So a really nice play from McGooey that time to try to right the.
Yeah, 50-22, much needed.
He's in front. That's fine.
Line up.
White away. Back.
We'll go to the fly half. Finance and Eco major at UMass.
Short. Away,
Ridgefield, Connecticut. He had 12 points against LSU in this tournament.
Right on it. Good.
So it's had a huge role for UMass trying to get to a national championship game, but they're running into a wall of dominance from Kentucky, especially in the second half. The 50-22 does put UMass in a good spot.
Hold, White.
Men with Dorsey. Looking ahead. Feinminster.
Hold.
Very close to the try line.
I'm here.
One more pass, looking for an offload within
a
few centimeters now.
Back, White, back.
Patrick White says it's short.
Leave
Not in
it.
yet.
Leave it.
Looking for the arm in the air. And Kentucky keep that up. Pass comes to the outside. One more pass to the outside for UMass to win. Manikian able to dot it down.
3.
And UMass answers with a number 12.
3.
And 5 more on the board. And finally, their first points of half number 2.
Thank you.
Manikian scores another try in very similar fashion to what he did last time. But I'll tell you what, Dave. University of Massachusetts deserved that score because on 2 plays, they learned from previous mistakes. It was the take off the kick from McGooey that puts them in that position off the 50-22. And then you saw Kentucky did not contest their maul that time, so they just drove straight ahead forward instead of getting a penalty against them, and that just set them up for their forwards to go to work. They just got their way towards the center of the field, and then again, their backs just shifted to the outside. They changed the point of attack, and Manikian finds himself his second try of the game. So a really well-deserved try from Massachusetts. Learned from their mistakes, righted the ship, and punched that one in. Really proud of UMass and what they did just there, Dave.
All right, the go with their partner, tough kick, deep kick, sharp angle outside the 22. Flag stayed out, so no conversion for the number 10 for UMass, but Manikian does have the brace. A couple of tries for him. His first made it 5-3. It was way back early in the first half. UMass took a 10-3 lead, and then a big rally end of half number 1, including the pick 5 for John Dardis. Went the length of the pitch after grabbing that at the halfway line. That changed the match considerably. Still time. UMass down a bunch, though. They can't waste any time in terms of getting it up pitch here and trying to tally again.
And I agree with you, Dave. That turning point in the game so far was that final play of the first half of Massachusetts throwing that intercept. And then the pick 5, as you mentioned, goes straight onto the post, gives Kentucky the lead and some confidence going into halftime.
No,
and it's been really hard for University of Massachusetts to climb out of that hole.
White 13.
But now showing signs of life in the final 10 minutes of this game, getting themselves a penalty here. So Magui will look to get themselves upfield. Doesn't get a kick that I'm sure he would be happy with. Doesn't go very far upfield, but nonetheless, still in Kentucky territory. And our touch judge has his hand out the opposite way towards Kentucky.
End of the yellow line there for me,
that was
perfect.
a full penalty, so it should be UMass ball.
Hold your stack, White.
And it is. You see University of Massachusetts coming over towards the side.
Black, come in. White, don't move. Black, come in. Thank you.
Indication there. So 5 minutes.
It's all right. These things happen, Dave. It's all right.
It happens.
Okay.
It's cold. It's chilly.
It's cold out there, man.
30 degrees in Reading today. Mister with a good throw on the line out. Fisher, the number 23, seeing some pitch time here. That's not
Sorry, bad timing. Thank you. Pass forward. Black 6. White scrum.
Division 1 today, tonight. St. Bonaventure Brown, Wheeling Queens. In D1, this is D1AA. In the National Collegiate Rugby Championships. Kentucky's Weeks puts it in play. Good spill, the play moves on for Luke Keogh.
Hughes falls out.
He got decked. Weeks. Out flip to the outside. This is Joe Keogh. Joe and Luke each have one try in the match. Whistle stops play. UMass trying to rally here late. They're going to get it back on the withholding.
Nice job from UMass that time to just turn that ball over in the outside channels. There's some pace out there for Kentucky. Keogh's got some wheels. Stepped past a few defenders, but isolated himself from his support. And UMass taking full advantage, getting good and strong over top of the ball, forcing the turnover, and then getting themselves right back upfield. Good field position here, just outside the 22. And again, 10 minutes to go, but signs of life from the Minutemen.
This is the way they started the match, Mike. A really good beginning to this one today here in Reading, Pennsylvania. Now pulling it on, but is there enough time is the question. Clock is their enemy. As we head toward the 71st minute.
Good timing.
Match here today in Chile, Pennsylvania. Concat driving forward.
Hold, White, hold.
Pushing bodies ahead. Is there enough time? That's the question.
We had high.
Fisher, a little bit of ground.
We had high tackle.
High tackle.
Seatbelt.
Well, high tackle penalty there that time. So 2 penalties in a row for Massachusetts. This is going to put them hopefully just outside the 5. A great kick that time from Magui. And so that's about 50 meters of real estate that they just gained off of 2 Kentucky penalties. And I have to say, Dave, I love that line-out option from Massachusetts. They throw to the front pod. They bring it down. You can see it threw off the timing of the Kentucky defense. They wanted to fly out of the gates real fast, put some pressure on, but it just threw that timing off just a bit, and it was enough to get the Minutemen on the front foot. So here they are now, 5 meters out from the goal line. You can see they're stacked pretty tight on the inside. But they bring it down again, and they decide to go straight forward.
That quick pass, they just got to go at least 5 meters. UMass and Cannon.
Hold.
A little bit of real estate.
White, hold.
Shirk, substitution pack here at UMass. A lot of guys beyond the 15 kit on the pitch here.
Hold here.
In the final moments of this match.
We're fine. Tackle made.
Inside pass, Quinzani.
Hold here, White.
Couple meters for UMass. Magic
Tackle!
Big match already.
Hold.
Now they'll pop it to the outside channel on a bounce. Anyone's ball. The 50-50 ball taken back by Kentucky. A huge turnover. Exactly what the Wildcats wanted to do to slow down the run from UMass.
You're fine.
Darnus.
Advantage.
Out of Merritt. Finds it again. Thrown back by Quinn Fisher.
Play on. That's it.
Had a knockdown, had a play on a quick toe tap. Early trigger here for Weeks. Weeks some room. Breaks a tackle. Trying to get away from others. Trying to lie, just enough of him to stop him in the open pitch, and then the whistle stops play.
First man on his feet.
Good heads-up time. Heads-up play that time from 21 for Kentucky. Andrew Weeks just ran out of gas, I think, Dave. He was just had the penalty. Massachusetts was nowhere ready for his quick tap, but then just one with the fullback. He looked like he was looking for some support. Legs gave out from under him, and he just gets tackled and isolated and turned over. There he goes. Off to the races, looking for support, throws the dummy. Look at this. One defender to beat. Second defender comes in, looking for some help. Only one white jersey there and not enough. A couple white jerseys show up a few moments later, so a good turnover that time by number 16 for Massachusetts. That was Gonzani helping force that turnover.
Fisher and company trying to work up pitchers. Fisher now the number 23. They'll operate a scrum half. Patel to the outside.
White away. Good.
Has it lunging forward.
Crash, come here. Come here.
But off of his feet.
White out.
Now UMass on the back foot.
Hold. Black retreat. Stop.
Need to go in the correct direction. They go to the captain. Struck well with the right foot. Airborne. Comes right to Lawson. Number 22 substitution pack and
supporting player off feet. You're on it.
Called over from referee Patrick Fight. Good job calling the match here today in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Let it breathe. Thank you.
Trouble with the handle. That is knocked on in the deep kick.
That's right. Two troubles that time. Kentucky goes straight into contact off that kick and counterattack, and they just lose their feet way too fast, which forces the support runners coming into the ruck to lose their feet again. And then Massachusetts misses touch, but a handling error that time sets up the Minutemen in the closing moments of this game to try to punch one more in. They've been doing some great work here, as we mentioned, Dave, in the closing quarter of this game, and they owe it to themselves to try to punch one more in.
Set. Hold. Angle.
Good tap.
No.
On the beginning of the scrum there from Quinn Fisher.
The marks the scrum over there. Advantage, not 10.
Magikian. Been a big match for UMass.
Hold here.
Gets closer to 5.
Penalty advantage.
Advantage. You hear that to UMass. Into the try zone. That ball loose for a moment.
That was grounded. We're going back.
Patel was there trying to dot that down.
Discipline down here now, okay? I see it.
Now the quick retap. Magikian again trying to get closer.
Captain.
And now captain's
Tackler.
conference is requested by our referees. That's some wild play with about 3.5 to go.
Yellow line, not 10 on the tap. We're off. Yellow line behind
it.
Hold.
The yellow card comes out, Dave, because that was 2 in a row for not being back 10 against Kentucky, because you can see Massachusetts just trying to hit the accelerator and speed this game up late in the game. So lots of fight left in this Minutemen team.
Away, White! Hold, away, White.
Fisher, quick inside feed to Magikian, looking for the hat trick. He's got the brace already in the match for UMass. He's got a huge start in this national semifinal. Time looks like it's going to run out, though, in the Minutemen in this one. Rainey getting closer.
Away!
Within about a meter. The final battle, the roll. Called short. Rainey there. Here's the dot down, and there is 5. And UMass does get 5 points on the board. In the late going, Upper Man 15 on 14. They do cash it in the end there. Looked like insanity.
And they deserved that, Dave. They really did. They fought for this one. They've had a really great last quarter of the game. Credit to the reserves that have come on for the University of Massachusetts. They've really just put some energy into this side. Really been going forward the entire time. And then watch this. He's so close to the line. He literally just reaches forward and look at his face. He's just shocked on his face. I think a little bit like, I scored? Is that me? I did it. He's like, oh yeah, I got it.
Just confirming that. Yeah, Victor Insanity. Indeed was the try score there for UMass.
We have multiple penalties on you guys that are affecting throwing the ball down, okay?
Yeah, it's a good memory to take home with you.
I heard you. We can talk afterwards, all right?
The kick was
Your
through.
team's discipline better
The
down there.
post scored.
Thank you.
2 more. Well, we're showing in Sanix. Quick reach and dot down for UMass. Now, Kentucky, this match, Mike was able to take advantage of 2 try opportunities up a man 15 on 14. UMass does the same here. In the late going after the yellow card came out against the Wildcats.
Those penalties can be huge, especially in the playoffs. It's really important to keep your discipline. It's always talked about time and time again. There's so much energy. There's a little bit of nervous energy. You got to just keep your cool. Keep all 15 players on the field because, as you mentioned, especially for Massachusetts, that was a huge turning point for them. Giving up those 2 tries, putting themselves in that big hole. It's tough to climb out of that one.
Not releasing is the call. We'll keep you updated on the clock here. It's about 90 seconds remaining in the match. Through 9:22, Kentucky's going to advance to the championship game again. And defend its title at Houston SaberCat Stadium, home of the Major League Rugby SaberCat team. Coming off a really good 2024 season. Mike had a chance to call a lot of MLR action this year on the Rugby Network. Nothing like it. Season soon, Mike. Get ready.
Very exciting, Dave. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a big one for Major League Rugby. And my hope, Dave, is that some of these kids that you're watching right now, be it from Massachusetts, Kentucky, whatever game you're watching later, St. Bonaventure, whatever it is, this is the future of that league. These guys right here, right now that you're watching with, a couple hundred fans or whatever it is, maybe a couple dozen even in Penn State Berks, they're hoping to someday get in that SaberCat Stadium for a different reason, maybe playing for Houston or whatever it is, but that's a lot of these kids, that's their goal and that's their hope, is that someday they get to punch their own ticket to play in the big leagues. But we're having a lot of fun calling this game, watching them right now as we get to watch Kentucky punch their ticket back to the championship final.
Yeah, well said. Late sub here in the final moments. Kentucky trying to get the right personnel on the pitch. They'll do so to finish this one out. Jesse Temple. Some last moment time here for the Wildcats. Andrew Weeks puts this into play, or will. What could be the final play of the match here. Merritt takes it back. A few meters for him. To the outside for Donlin. Big guy's got one already in this match. He is tough to tackle, dragging tacklers and bodies with him. Absolute freight train. The knock-on is called in the final moments. And that is the whistle to end this one. It's official from Penn State Berks, Kentucky off to the national championship game in Houston next week. 39-22 is the final here today. And Mike, it was a tight match at halftime, 17-10, but the Wildcats run away from the minute and half number 2 to seal the deal.
As you mentioned, Dave, it was a huge second half performance from the University of Kentucky. That first half was back and forth. UMass came out to that early lead, but credit to Kentucky. They kept their cool. They weathered the storm early on, and the number 1 seed is back in the big dance next weekend.
39-22 is the final. Thanks for watching, everyone. The semifinal here from Pennsylvania. Well, Mike Petch and the entire crew, it's Dave Ryan saying so long. Kentucky wins it. The D1AA National Semifinal of the Collegiate Rugby Championship. They are on the way to Houston next week.
To understand the game in its fullest, you need to understand what's happening to the ball.
Gilbert is synonymous with every major event that's happened in our sport.
The ball is a conductor of the orchestra. We put a tiny microchip inside the ball. We're getting location information from the ball, speed, spin, distance, trajectory, hang time.
The technology and the innovation behind this ball is truly a game changer.
When we pick up the ball, we also pick up a legacy. A legacy that stretches beyond your current team. A legacy built on the backs of those who came before.
Yeah, I know, you're a beast for that.
And for those who will come after you, we promise it won't be easy. But we'll be there, supporting you on and off the field.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Welcome to the Rugby
that's good,
Rundown on the Rugby Network. Join myself, Alex Corbicero, and Will Hooley as we bring you your weekly rugby fix.
With the big news, special guests, and unparalleled access, this is your rugby show.
From college rugby, Premiership Women's Rugby, MLR, and more, we've got you covered.
Watch exclusively on the Rugby Network.
Come along for the ride as we bring you the Rugby Rundown. Welcome to the Rugby Rundown on the Rugby Network, as we bring you your weekly rugby fix.
With the big news, special guests, and unparalleled access, this is your rugby show. Watch exclusively on the Rugby Network.
really is all about feeling. The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
It's going to be the man who can celebrate now.
I have to say my favorite Thorn product is creatine, white protein, vitamin D, super EPA, fish oil pills.
I chose to take Thorn supplements over another brand because they're sports backed.
We know it's tested and it's safe to use.
There's a wide variety of benefits that range from sports performance to neurological benefits. I know it helps me increase my lifting capacity.
That they're third-party tested, that they're NSF certified.
And they also taste great, so that's why I choose Thorn.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
To understand the game in its fullest, you need to understand what's happening to the ball.
Gilbert is synonymous with every major event that's happened in our sport.
The ball is a conductor of the orchestra. We put a tiny microchip inside the ball. We're getting location information from the ball, speed, spin, distance, trajectory, hang time.
The technology and the innovation behind this ball is truly a game changer.
When we pick up the ball, we also pick up a legacy. A legacy that stretches beyond your current team. A legacy built on the backs of those who came before you with hard work. And for those who will come after you, we promise it won't be easy. But we'll be there, supporting you on and off the field.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown on the Rugby Network. Join myself, Alex Corbacero, and Will Hooley as we bring you your weekly rugby fix.
With the big news, special guests, and unparalleled access, this is your rugby show.
From college rugby, Premiership rugby, Premiership women's rugby, MLR, and more, we've got you covered.
Watch exclusively on the Rugby Network.
Come along for the ride as we bring you the Rugby Rundown. Welcome to the Rugby Rundown on the Rugby Network as we bring you your weekly rugby fix.
With the big news, special guests, and unparalleled access, this is your rugby show. Watch exclusively on the Rugby Network.
Rugby is all about feeling. The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
Is going to be the man who can celebrate now.
I have to say my favorite Thorn product is creatine,
White protein.
vitamin D, super EPA.
Fish oil pills.
I chose to take Thorn supplements over another brand because they're sports backed.
We know it's tested and it's safe to use.
There's a wide variety of benefits that range from sports performance to neurological benefits. I know it helps me increase my lifting capacity.
That they're third-party tested, that they're NSF certified.
And they also taste great, so that's why I choose Thorn.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
To understand the game in its fullest, you need to understand what's happening to the ball.
Gilbert is synonymous with every major event that's happened in our sport.
The ball is a conductor of the orchestra. We put a tiny microchip inside the ball. We're getting location information from the ball, speed, spin, distance, trajectory, hang time.
The technology and the innovation behind this ball is truly a game changer.